Around the world, governments and enterprises are taking note of the Pegasus project, a collaborative journalism project that seeks to shine a light on the potential misuse of a highly invasive spyware, Pegasus, manufactured by the Israel-based NSO Group, and which may have been used to target scores of journalists, politicians and public figures from India and around the world. In France, government prosecutors today said they have opened up a probe into the alleged spying of journalists via Pegasus. Amazon put out a statement saying Amazon Web Services, its subsidiary that provides cloud computing services, has shut down infrastructure and accounts linked to the NSO Group. But the Indian government, curiously, in its attempts to distance itself from the spying scandal, appears to be endorsing the NSO Group's defense, in effect validating the clean chit NSO gave to itself. The Minister for IT, speaking in Parliament, quoted from statements and interviews of the NSO Group, in which NSO has argued that the Pegasus media reports are without basis.
NSO has also said that the list of countries shown using Pegasus is incorrect. And many countries mentioned are not even our clients. It also said that most of its clients are Western countries. It is evident, Honorable Chairman Sir, Speaker Sir, that NSO has also clearly rubbished the claims in the report.
Now let's leave aside the puzzling logic of why the Indian government would take at face value a defense offered by a foreign private entity, and instead ask, are the government's arguments borne out by the facts? NSO, based on its public statements, appears to have a history of giving itself clean chits whenever confronted with charges of the misuse of Pegasus. But as many have pointed out, those clean chits are riddled with contradictions. NSO has repeatedly claimed that its spyware is not for use against journalists and activists, and that it only sells its spyware to government entities for the purposes of fighting crime and terror. It also has at times claimed that it is able to monitor the end use of its product by its clients against potential misuse. In an interview in 2019, when asked about the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who was reportedly spied upon using Pegasus, the head of NSO claimed that it conducts, in quotes, a thorough inspection of its clients, and it is impossible to act against a target such as Khashoggi without NSO being able to check it. In fact, publicly available Pegasus documentation submitted in a US court in 2019, accessed by a University of Toronto research group, Citizen Lab, says NSO is responsible for training the end users and that the Pegasus spyware comes with a 1-year maintenance, support and upgrade contract. So, NSO should know to some extent about how Pegasus is used. But then, in what appears to be a contradiction, NSO has in its statements said again and again that we do not operate Pegasus technology, nor do we have any knowledge of the individuals whom states might be investigating. But this too is contracted by another set of contractual documents accessed by the Delhi-based legal website, the Leaflet. In those documents, the NSO makes it mandatory for the client government to produce evidence to support its request to buy and use Pegasus. These are some of the things that are required. A legitimate surveillance request should be supported by evidence. Details of suspected crimes should be submitted of the individual that is supposedly to be targeted. Surveillance duration and renewals need to be specified. A retention period needs to be specified. Approval has to be granted by an authorized independent oversight authority in accordance with local laws. So again, is the NSO Group just supplying spyware without being aware of end use, or is it actively playing a role in determining, along with governments, who gets spied on and who doesn't? Given these contradictions, all of which are in public domain, should the government of India be taking NSO's defense at face value?